Okay, so hey YouTube, a funny story happened today at lunch. So we went out as a team, and the team that I work with knows that I'm trans because I came out to them shortly after joining the team, and that's probably something important to keep in mind because I made it clear when I came out to them that I was more than happy to talk about trans issues, answer questions, things like that. And so today at lunch, one of my coworkers asked me about the dates that I had last weekend because I think he likes to try to put people on the spot maybe a little bit, or just curious. Like, I don't think he's like intentionally trying to put it out there, but all the other coworkers are like, ooh, like the majority of them are married, so, or in relationships, and I'm one of the two single ones, I think. So, anyway, he asked kind of how the dates went, if there were any prospects, if I think I'm going to see any again. And the entire time he's operating under the assumption, and I think most of my coworkers were as well, that all 3 dates were with men. And so I said, well, the first one, I basically described the video without naming the gender of any of the 3 individuals because I was sort of saving that disclosure to just probably fuck with my coworkers a little bit, to be honest. And so I wanted to see kind of where the questions went before I bothered to, sort of reiterate the fact that I'm bisexual. So anyway, I go through kind of the spiel and say that there's one of the 3 that I think, I've continued to talk to and, hope to see again. And, so he goes, so how are you? And I think he was going to ask a question of basically kind of broach the subject of being trans or, something like that. And I say, well, first of all, it wasn't a he, it's a she. And all my coworkers kind of drop their forks or whatever. Not really, but it's one of those kind of moments where they're like, oh, you're dating a woman. Or you date women, like maybe they forgot that I think I told them I'm bi, maybe I didn't tell them, I don't know, but, so they're just like, oh, and so the one guy who asked the question is then like, well, he's gonna ask questions about bisexuality now, but the one coworker is just sitting there with this stunned look on her face, and, we're all like, well, looks like we broke her brain, and eventually she goes, well, can I ask you a question? She's like, if you date women, why did you make the change? And people at the table kind of laugh, and to their credit, my coworkers are like, well, obviously these 2 things aren't, they're not related. One is, sort of who you are, the other is who you're attracted to, and my coworker continues to ask other questions about bisexuality, and the one coworker goes, well, that's kind of, it's kind of hot, like, and I think, like, she was just like, they were all sort of a little bit stunned, and, it's just fun to have those moments, and, kind of, I enjoy a little bit messing with cis people, because you kind of have to have a little bit of fun when you are bisexual and trans. Like, people haven't really given sort of your life context too much thought, and so it's enjoyable. And then at the end, kind of as we're leaving lunch, people are like, we need to have like a happy hour where we just get to ask all of our dumb questions. And I was like, yep, that's fine, as long as you guys are buying, we can go ahead and do that.